You will be missed.
Hey everyone, the NHL 25 gameplay trailer was just released, and everyone and their mother is making a video about that, and every single other new information bit we get regarding NHL 25. And quite honestly, I don't want to be a part of that. I don't want to make the exact same 10 videos as everyone else is making. So instead, I'm only making this one video. I will be talking about all the news we have about NHL 25, but purely talking from my own personal perspective. This video is divided into 3 sections, just so it's a little bit easier for you to follow along and know what is happening. Let's begin by talking about the new features in NHL 25. Here's my opinion. TLDR, very neutral. I feel like all the new features they're promoting in both the reveal trailer as well as the gameplay trailer are very hard to evaluate before we actually get to play the game. Here's the main gameplay updates. Next gen vision control. Seems like they've changed the way backskating works. When you press L2 with a puck carrier, your player will automatically face the net instead of backskating. On top of that, there's a lot of new skating animations, which does sound nice. I'll give them that. Also, something I like is that L2 is promised to be more effective without the puck, to properly face the puck on both offense and defense. I think on paper that's my favorite thing about the new skating features. Especially for the 6v6 side of things, this sounds on paper like a really good feature to have. On both offense and defense, it has been pretty awkward to try to turn and face the puck carrier in the past, which is especially frustrating on defense as that can lead to the inability to intercept passes properly. So hoping this actually plays as promised. Empowered AI. This is either the best thing ever or the worst thing ever. Or I guess it could be something in between as well. I think we can all agree that the AI in prior games is, well, it's not good. So a change in AI is most certainly welcomed. But again, it's pretty impossible to say how this will actually affect gameplay before we actually get the game. Reactive actions. Yeah, I don't know about this one. Skill-based one-timers. Once again, we have absolutely zero idea on how this will actually play out. I do have my concerns about it, but at least they're testing something out, so I'm all for this. And in my opinion, this has the potential of actually being a really good feature in the game. Along with these gameplay updates, we are getting upgrades to the presentation. A new scoreboard that will be in the top left corner of the screen. Franchise mode is getting an overhaul, and World of Chell and Hot are getting some new game modes. These all sound pretty good, but for me, gameplay is the most important thing. And from my perspective, the trailers do not give any answers to my top 3 gameplay concerns: goalies, hitting, and AI. And sure, the phrase empowered AI did get tossed around in the trailers, but based on the trailer footage alone, I'm not convinced. And I do think there is a realistic chance that the issues I have with these have been looked at and they happen to not be included in the trailers. But I guess we'll see when the game comes out. NHL 25 will only be released on new gen consoles, meaning you will need a PS5, an Xbox Series X, or an Xbox Series S to be able to play. I think it's a good change. I am a little bit surprised that they did this already this year, but I guess the new consoles have been out for ages by now, so it does make sense to me to drop the old gen just to be able to use all the potential in the new gen consoles. But here is the sad part. Crossplay is available in all online enabled World of Chell and Hockey Ultimate Team modes, meaning there is no crossplay in online versus. Now, why exactly is this such a big deal? Most NHL tournaments are played in online versus. Well, actually now with the news of the NHL Gaming World Championships not taking place in NHL 25, practically all major NHL tournaments will be played in online versus. Well, excluding 6v6, of course. As a game mode, I completely support tournaments being in online versus, but I think you can already tell where I'm going with this. It means tournament organizers will have to exclude either the Xbox side or the PS side from tournaments. And in Europe, they will 100% be excluding the Xbox players, since the competitive NHL community here has shifted to the PS side pretty much completely. I myself have always been an Xbox player. I started playing with the Xbox 360, which me and my siblings got for Christmas. Then later I got the Xbox One, and now I've been using the Xbox Series S. I do have a PS5, which I had to buy earlier because pretty much all the tournaments already were on PS side, only the GWC was cross-console. And now, with the Gaming World Championships being put on pause, I honestly cannot find a way to justify myself buying NHL 25 for both consoles, you know? And to be honest, I honestly can't find a reason to even buy the more expensive version of the game, because the benefits to Hockey Ultimate Team are no longer that relevant, because there is no competitive play in HOT, as GWC will no longer be held there. And to be honest, HOT as a game mode has become pretty boring in my view. There's no competitive seasons, and even the HOT champs we have, it is very boring compared to what it used to be, with the rewards being very stale. Obviously that could change, but at the moment HOT is just not a very exciting game mode. So yes, I have decided to completely move over to PS5 for NHL 25. And I mean, it's not really me who is the victim here. I seriously feel bad for anyone that doesn't have the option to get the PS5. Also, my Xbox isn't going anywhere. As soon as there is a reason to play on this thing again, I'm playing on it. But it's time to say goodbye, at least for now. Thank you for your service. You will be missed. The reasoning behind this is mainly the fact that previously I've had to change consoles every time I wanted to play in a tournament. And I think you can understand how that can be a little bit of an issue just from a competitive standpoint. I'm playing on Xbox all year, then once every couple of months there's a PS5 only tournament, and then I have to switch to a completely different controller as well, which I'm not really used to. So that has not been the most ideal situation for me. Also, I swear the PS5 menus run a lot slower than Xbox. I don't know why that is, but just another thing that is just kind of frustrating. Also, there's claims that NHL has more input delay on PS compared to Xbox, which I'm not sure if it's the case or not, but damn, man, it just feels it feels wrong to ditch the Xbox, man. Like, my 6v6 team name is Xbots. I'm that much of an Xbot. And to be fair, this isn't necessarily on EA. I believe there's some technical reason why crossplay is only available in game modes that are run through the servers. If you didn't know, Online Versus is connecting you directly to your opponent peer-to-peer. It's also why crossplay friendly games in HOT are only with a password through the servers, not peer-to-peer. But man, at least give us an option to play Versus through the servers or something. Well, that's not really the ultimate solution for it, but would be better than nothing for sure. But I guess I accept the situation we find ourselves in. I'm not happy about it though. So, how does NHL 25 look to me, and what does this mean for the content I will be producing next year? Firstly, something that is bad, but actually might be kinda good at the same time. The World Championships will not be played, meaning there is not as much of an incentive to grind HOT just for the sake of getting the best possible team. And I actually think this is a very positive thing for the game itself. Like, first of all, a tournament like that should never even have been in HOT in the first place. Even though you could, just like I did, get a really good team without spending money on the game, it was still practically pay to win. Either you pay in the form of buying packs from the store, or you pay by the hours you're putting into HOT playing all year. So overall, it is good that there is no pay to win World Championships anymore. But now that HOT is no longer just the mode that I must grind to prepare for GWC, that leaves me with so much more flexibility when it comes to content as well. HOT will most definitely stay in the picture, but I no longer feel obligated to just stick to grinding HOT. You know, I most definitely won't be spending my time maxing out rivals every week or grinding offline in HOT just to get a better team, you know? Essentially anything HOT related that I do not find fun will be replaced by other things. Sixes, Online Versus, possibly doing some sort of challenge videos. I could even see myself doing like Be a Pro or franchise mode, although Be a Pro is actually so horrible in NHL 24 and they are not promoting any sort of improvements for Be a Pro for NHL 25, so, and if it stays the same, I'm not so sure about that one. Like, honestly, I don't understand how they don't put much effort into Be a Pro, because if the Be a Pro was good, I think that legitimately could be like NHL's biggest game mode, I swear. Sixes will definitely be one of the main priorities going into next year, though that won't directly translate to content on this channel, as that will most likely be on my Finnish YouTube channel instead. The hot grind last year on top of making hot related content just really ate all the time I had, to the point where I didn't really even play the game as much as I would have liked to. I did NHL pretty much full time for the first 6 months of NHL 24, but in terms of hours spent with the game open, it was actually only the 4th most I've ever played NHL. And on top of that, I think this actually may have been the least I've played since NHL 17 in terms of how much actual effective gameplay I had. I spent so much time just in the menus and grinding like hot offline modes just to get a better team, and those are just not things I should be doing even from a competitive standpoint. The competitive side wasn't and still won't be my main focus when creating content, but I'm sure you understand that on top of playing this game for fun and for content, it will also be in my interest to get good, you know, and compete at the highest level. So for NHL 25, I would like to take a little bit more time to practice, play actual high quality games against really good players, and just overall focus on getting better at the game. That is something I just did not do pretty much at all during NHL 24. Plus, I think in the long term, that should be good for content as well. Content does also take a ton of time as well though, so we'll have to see what I can do with my time management. One disadvantage I have is that last year I was able to stop working completely for the first months of NHL 24 to focus purely on content, which I'm not planning on doing this year. Luckily, the place I work at is super awesome and they give me a lot of freedom to choose how much I work. So for the start of NHL 25, maybe I'll be doing like 2 shifts per week or something like that to still leave me with a lot of time to work on content as well. We shall see how this all adds up. How much time do I give for work? How much for content? Hot sixes, practice games, playing floorball in real life, etc. So yeah, overall feelings towards NHL 25 are pretty neutral so far, but obviously I'm excited to get the game like every single year. If you've made it this far in the video, let me know what you thought. And as always, I appreciate you watching. And if you haven't already, consider subscribing for more NHL content in the future.